What is the proper way to pronounce the word? It's been months now of people being condescending or attempting to bully me or trying to correct me without actually knowing any sort of Japanese. So I took the time to make a thorough explanation, taking some familiar words and using those words to break down this word, and then we can kind of get to a better understanding together. And then you'll know why I pronounce the word the way I do. I am not fluent in Japanese, my accent is not perfect, my understanding is still elementary. But I've taken a class, I've learned outside of a class, I have a friend who's a translator, I've been to Japan. Basically, I'm just not making stuff up, and I think I have a basic enough understanding that I can explain the basics. Let's start with these two words that many of us already know. A lot of people pronounce them as Kakashi and Akatsuki. Japanese has 5 basic vowel sounds, and again, my accent is not perfect, but it's close enough for now. A, I, U, E, O. And they stay the same no matter the context. There is no sound. Since there is no sound and it's ka and ka, you would say something like Kakashi, not Kakashi. So yes, while Kakashi is a very widely accepted pronunciation of the name, it would be kind of weird to go up to someone who says Kakashi and saying that they are pronouncing it incorrectly or weirdly, or are annoying for saying Kakashi. And while Japanese does have pitch accents, it doesn't really stress the syllables. So you would be even more weird to tell someone that Kakashi is more correct than Kakashi. Kakashi, Kakashi, Kakashi. The more I say it, the worse it sounds. Kakashi. The point being, while we all have accents and there's nuance to the way we speak, something like Kakashi is probably the most correct way, but you don't see me going around correcting people who say Kakashi. If we apply these rules to this word, we would go from Akatsuki to Akatsuki, Akatsuki. I also chose this word because in this example, it's actually kind of hard to hear the difference between and a. Akatsuki, 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 Akatsuki. It's hard. You start to blend the vowels together, at least I do. So if we take what we've learned and apply it to this word, we would get ha, ka, li, hakari. Hopefully you're getting the point. By the way, Japanese does not have an L or an R sound, it's something in between. We just use the letter R to represent that sound. And I cannot pronounce it correctly no matter how hard I try, although I still try, I can't do it. The American in me is gonna mess it up every single time. I'm gonna roll my R even though you're not supposed to. But this also means that when I'm speaking regularly, I'm gonna blend some sounds together because that's what happens when you change your languages and you're not fluent in both languages. So for the longest time, I just said Hakari. Oh my gosh, Hakari, it's so wrong. It gives me a headache. Oh my gosh, you're so annoying. Why do you say it like that? Well, now you know why. It was also super awkward because when I met people in real life, nobody knew how to actually say his name and they were always confused. And then I was like, do I say Hakari or do I say Hakari? And then if I say Ri, will people get even more confused and I don't want to have to explain that? But recently I started saying Hakari and I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, there's a lot that you can nitpick about my pronunciation and maybe my understanding, but I feel like the nitpickiest people so far have been the people with the least amount of information and background in Japanese. Yes, sometimes I say instead of Hakari, Hakari instead of Hakari, but I try to prioritize eliminating the stress as much as possible and trying to keep a consistent sound as much as possible. And that is why I prioritize saying Hakari or Hakari instead of Hakari or Hakari. But surprise, technically Hakari, Hakari, and Hakari, I had to think about it real quick, are all incorrect. Even with my bad accent, Hakari is still probably the closest thing to being correct, essentially honoring the written system in Japanese and going by that. Again, that's my personal choice. I'm trying my best to honor the Japanese pronunciation
特に3年計り
versus the dub pronunciation,
especially Hakari the third year.
while also acknowledging that my accent is not perfect and there's only so much I can do. So again, the point of this video is to help you think things through, figure out why I say the things I do, figure out how you want to say things, figure out how to come to people more, I don't know, less jerkishly, and you can help each other out without being condescending. Or you can actually figure out if you know as much as you do before you comment. And we can just kind of move on and enjoy the manga and anime without all the silly banter. I know it's impossible, but I tried.